What if dying wasn't the end, but the beginning of something far greater? Michael Reynolds never believed in the supernatural. Life was simple. Work hard, make money, and try to stay ahead in the relentless race of New York City. But on an ordinary morning, with a coffee cup in one hand and a deadline looming over him, fate decided otherwise. A sharp, searing pain gripped his chest, stealing his breath, dragging him into darkness. His body collapsed to the floor lifeless. But his mind, his soul didn't stop. Michael awoke in a realm beyond comprehension. A vast expanse of shifting light, where time and space bent like liquid and reality unraveled before his eyes. He wasn't alone. A towering figure of pure energy watched him, its voice echoing inside his mind. You stand at the bridge between worlds, it said. A choice lay before him. Move forward and embrace the unknown, or return to the world he once knew, but changed forever. As he drifted between realms, memories of his past surged forward, revealing the life he had lived, the regrets he had buried, and the truths he had ignored. But the bridge was not empty. Others lingered, some lost, trapped in the shadows, unable to let go. And beyond them, a golden city shimmered in the distance, a place where souls transcended. Michael had always thought of death as an end. Now he realized it was only a doorway. What lies beyond the light? And if you crossed over, would you ever be the same again? Step into a journey that challenges everything you think you know about life, death, and the mysteries that connect us all. Beyond the light ***. The last thing I remember ***. The last thing Michael Reynolds remembered was the sharp pain in his chest. One moment he was sitting in his office in New York sipping his morning coffee, and the next the world was tilting. His vision blurred, his heart hammered like a wild drum, and before he could cry for help, darkness swallowed him whole. But it wasn't the end. Michael expected nothingness, oblivion. But instead, he awoke to something impossible. He was standing in the middle of a vast open space. No walls, no ceiling. Just an infinite stretch of shimmering, pulsating light that shifted between colors he had never seen before. His body felt weightless, and when he looked down he saw himself, not as flesh and blood, but as something radiant, something more. "Am I dead?" he whispered, his voice echoing into the void. And then the voice came. "Not yet. The bridge between life and death ***. Michael turned, searching for the source of the voice. A figure emerged from the light, moving with an effortless grace. It wasn't human, at least not entirely. It had the shape of a man, but its form was made of pure energy, flickering like a living star. "Who are you?" Michael asked. "I am a guide," the being said. "And you are at the bridge." "The bridge? This is the place between," the guide explained. "Between your life and what comes after." Michael swallowed hard. "So I really am dead?" "Not quite. Your body still clings to the world you knew. But your soul, it has already begun to move forward." A strange mix of fear and curiosity gripped him. "What happens now?" The guide gestured, and suddenly the space around them shifted. Images appeared, scenes from his life flashing by like an old film reel. His childhood home, his mother's face as she tucked him in at night, the first time he fell in love, the day his daughter was born, and then the moments he wished he could forget, the words he never said, the regrets that still weighed on his soul. He fell to his knees. "I don't want to die." "Then you must choose," the guide said. "But before you decide, there is more to see. The tunnel of truth ***. Without warning, the light shifted, pulling Michael forward at an unimaginable speed. He felt like he was flying, no falling, through an endless tunnel, where memories swirled around him like specters. He saw the people he had hurt, the things he had ignored, the choices he wished he could take back. And then something different, a moment he had long forgotten. A stranger on the subway years ago. A homeless man shivering in the cold. Michael had walked past him indifferent. But here, in this place, he felt everything. The man's hunger. His despair. The crushing weight of loneliness. Michael gasped, clutching his chest. "I didn't know." "You did," the guide said softly. "You just didn't see." The tunnel slowed, and suddenly he was standing in a vast field of stars, floating above a world that pulsed with life. A city of souls. The city beyond life ***. Before him stood a place beyond imagination. Towers of golden light stretched into the sky. Bridges woven from shimmering threads connected impossible structures. Beings moved through the streets, their forms shifting between shapes, some human, some not. Michael felt drawn to them as though he belonged here. This is where souls come when their journey is done, the guide said. It's beautiful, Michael whispered. But not all who come here stay. The guide turned, and in the distance Michael saw another place. A dark expanse void of light. Shapes moved within it, trapped in endless loops, whispering to themselves, their voices filled with sorrow. The ones who cannot let go, the guide said. Those who refused to move forward. Michael shuddered. He felt something pulling at him. A force trying to drag him toward that darkness. A choice was coming. The final decision ***. Michael turned to the guide. What happens if I go back? You will return to your life, the guide said. But you will not return the same. And if I stay? You move forward. You let go of the past. You become more than you were. Michael hesitated. He thought of his wife, his daughter, the people he loved. Could he really leave them behind? The darkness pulled at him again. Regrets whispered in his ear, urging him to let go, to give in. Then he saw her. His daughter's face, her bright smile, the way she laughed when he lifted her onto his shoulders. I have to go back. The guide nodded. Then hold on. The return ***. Michael felt the rush of energy, the world spinning around him. The city faded, the darkness vanished, and suddenly, he gasped, air flooding his lungs. The blinding lights of a hospital room came into focus. A doctor's voice shouting for help. His wife sobbing beside him. He was alive. But he was changed. A new purpose ***. Weeks passed, but Michael couldn't forget. He saw the world differently now. He felt people's pain, their joy, their unspoken sorrows. He no longer lived on autopilot. One night, sitting in his study, he began to write. His story. His truth. Not just about what he had seen, but about what he had learned. That life is not just about survival. It's about connection. About kindness. About seeing what we once ignored. As he wrote, his hands trembled. He knew that some would dismiss him, call him crazy. But he didn't care. Because he had seen what was beyond the light. And he had come back to tell the world. Somewhere in a quiet hospital room, another soul hovers between life and death, waiting for their own journey to begin. Will they return? Or will they move forward? The choice is always ours.